In a week when most European countries saw hospitals reach near saturation point, many nations had no choice but to implement lockdowns, curfews and new travel restrictions. The UK reached 50,000 deaths, many countries moved from implementing curfews to full lockdowns. Denmark and other countries restricted movement due to a COVID-19 outbreak in minks, and many European countries entered red lists, meaning residents from those countries cannot travel without a negative PCR test. Here is an updated mid-November recap, country by country, who can get in, what they need to do before and when they get there, and how much they can travel about once they're on the ground, if at all. This was the second week where the ECDC map was red for most EU countries. Part of southern Norway turned red from yellow and the south of Finland turned green. The current list of travel restrictions across Europe is coordinated for most countries by using the ECDC traffic light map, where arrivals from red countries are more restricted than arrivals from green, who can travel freely, and there is a list of EU-approved third-party countries. This list is now reduced to the following countries: Australia, Japan, New Zealand, Rwanda, Singapore, South Korea, Thailand, and Uruguay. Arrivals from China are also allowed, assuming reciprocity occurs, i.e. that China accepts EU arrivals. Entry from most EU plus countries is currently okay without restrictions, except for parts of Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, France, Portugal, Spain and the UK, where either quarantine is required or a negative COVID-19 test, taken within the last 72 hours. Arrivals from international third-party countries not in the EU plus area is strictly forbidden, with the exception of the UK and Switzerland. For the month of November, Austria has closed ski resorts and hotels, restaurants and bars, except for takeout and Christmas markets. A curfew is in place between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Non-essential travel to and from outside EU and Schengen countries remains prohibited, and all passengers arriving in Belgium by air or sea must fill in a public Health Passenger Locator Form and give it to border authorities. For incoming visitors to the country, Belgium is using the ECDC traffic light system and obliging anyone arriving from red zones after the 15th of November to test negative upon arrival or quarantine for 14 days. As per the ECDC map above, most of Europe is currently a red zone. Belgium is currently in lockdown, with non-essential shops closed and people are working from home where possible. As outlined by Politico, people are only allowed to socialize with one person outside of their household, and it must always be the same person. 4 people are allowed in someone's home, if social distancing rules are followed, and the group must stay the same throughout the lockdown.